Hi everyone, welcome back to the Content Plug YouTube channel. I'm Alexis, founder and CEO of the Content Plug. And today we're going to talk about something that's super important, but is not super sexy in the social media world. We're going to talk about passwords. Now, if you are one of the billion people who use Instagram on a regular basis, I'm sure you've been receiving a lot of funky emails saying like, hey, are you having trouble getting into your account? Here's how you can reset your password. Now, if you're getting a lot of those emails, just know that you are far from alone. There are some days where I've had like 3 or 4 of them come through my inbox and I'm like, why are y'all trying to hack my account? There's really nothing in there. And while you may think that it's your ex's, old boyfriend, old girlfriend trying to hack your account, 9 times out of 10, it's probably someone overseas who's just trying to steal your data, who's just trying to get into your account, and they're probably trying to sell your account back to you. Trust me, we have seen and heard it all. So in this video, we're going to talk about some password safety tips and some other things that you should really keep in mind. So first, let's talk about those funky password emails. A lot of you are probably thinking, okay, these are spam, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of them are actually real. There's someone out there who's just trying to get you to log into your account. However, you should probably ignore them if you are not trying to reset your password. If you get one of those emails and you know that you haven't had trouble logging into your account or you're not trying to reset your password overall, just delete the email and go about your business. However, if you are starting to get more and more of them, it just kind of shows that someone is really trying to get into your stuff. They're really paying attention to what you're doing. So I would highly recommend that you turn on 2-factor authentication for your account. And in all honesty, all brand accounts should have this turned on anyway. If you are a big brand, a small brand, medium-sized business, an influencer, if you don't want your account hacked overall, you should have 2-factor turned on. And this way, anytime someone tries to log into your account, you're gonna get a text message, you're gonna be asked to put in a code. There's just an extra level of security to ensure that your account is not going to get hacked. And I'm sure some of you are sitting around like, okay, do I really want to turn 2-factor on? It's super annoying, especially if I have multiple accounts that I'm hopping back and forth between, or, if I log out of my Instagram account every so often and have to get back in, it makes it more difficult. And yes, it is a little bit more challenging if you need to get back into your accounts. However, you don't want to have the situation where you can't get back into your account. You're trying to call Instagram support, which is, not going to work. You're trying to chat with Facebook online because you can't get into your account. It's really easier to turn on 2-factor and have to deal with the hassles there than having to deal with someone actually hacking your account and trying to sell it back to you. So the next password tip we're going to talk about is using strong passwords and not using the same password across all of your accounts. Yes, say it with me. You need to have different passwords for all of your accounts, especially if you are a big brand. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people have a simple password like password 123, password ABC, and then they use it across all of their channels. And that really is reckless, especially if you have a brand that is, bringing you money in on social media, because as soon as someone gets into that account and hacks it, changes the password, changes the email, you're done. You can't get back into your stuff. And then they've probably gone ahead and tried it for all of your accounts as well. My next password tip is going to talk about team members and your passwords. If you have a larger brand, you have a social media manager or a virtual assistant, giving them your password is totally fine. Just make sure that it's someone you trust. Make sure you've signed all the paperwork, do all of that good stuff. However, you need to make sure that that social media manager, that VA, does not have access to the email address that is associated to your account. Because let's say one day things go left, you all are no longer getting along, or you just go your separate ways. You don't want that person to have access to the email address associated with your account, because then they can go in, change the password to the email address as well, and the next thing you know, you are locked out of your account. That is the last thing you want to do. Trust me, I have seen and heard of this. I know it sounds crazy, but it definitely happens. And I know this is super complicated, but there's definitely nothing wrong with changing your passwords, every couple months, every quarter. I definitely recommend it. And this ensures that people are not keeping hold of your accounts on old phones, old iPads, old computers. This way, if you change your password on certain accounts, it will automatically log them out until you put the new password in. So I definitely recommend doing this, especially if you are having people leaving and joining your team. Every single time people leave your team, you need to change your password. I'm gonna say that again. Every single time people leave your team, you need to change your password. It doesn't matter if this person is a significant other, an assistant, your best friend, your mom. It doesn't matter if they left on good terms. You need to change your password every single time people leave your team. It's a security issue. You shouldn't even have people who are no longer on your team having access to your accounts. Once again, if you change your password, they'll probably get logged out. And this is also important because let's say that your old assistant is on vacation and then your accounts are still on her phone and then her phone is hacked or stolen or something like that. Now someone else has access to your accounts, all because you decided not to change your password. So don't get too prideful or think, oh, this person's not gonna do anything to me. Change your passwords every single time someone leaves your team. Trust me, you will thank me later. And finally, make sure that you're giving your passwords to people who actually need them and people who are actually going to log into your accounts. There's no need to have this open door policy where everyone on your team has access to your passwords and that you can't track who's logging in from where. Make sure that the people who are actually working on the accounts, who are keeping an eye on the posts and the analytics and all that stuff have access, but you do not necessarily have to give your interns or anyone else on your team access to your passwords and your accounts if they are not going to be actively working on them. It's just really unnecessary and it will cause a lot of problems down the line. All right, that's it for passwords in the social media world. If there was something that I didn't touch on that you're like, wait, why didn't you talk about this? Leave a comment below and I'll respond and get back to it. Or I may do another video. We'll definitely see. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I definitely want to make sure that I'm bringing you all the types of social media content that you're going to love and you're going to want to share with other people. All right, see you next time.